Well, g'day, it's Mark from markhollowaytv.com. This is my third session on why your marketing isn't working. Now, you might remember that in the first session I got a bit cross and talked about the full marketing and advertising people that try to convince you to put less in your marketing and advertising rather than more. And then in the second session, I told you if you're going to put more in your marketing, which you need to, what to put in there. And I referred in that second session to something that we at Holloways call the secret strength of your business, which essentially is what works for you when you deal one-on-one. And I said that I would do a session on that. So this session is about the secret strength of your business and how to determine what it is so that you can put it in to your marketing. Okay, so this is how it works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece out of my seminar and where I deal at length about the secret strength, and I'm just going to explain to you what I do in my seminar. So this is what happens. I say to the audience, if you go to the butcher instead of the supermarket, why would you do that? Because there's always some people who prefer to go to the butcher. And the two answers I always get are, well, in fact, the most important answer I always get is personal service. And then I say to the audience, well, you know, okay, that's obviously the correct answer because it's the answer I always get, but what's that got to do with anything? I mean, you don't go to the butcher for a relationship. At least most of you don't, and I always get a bit of a laugh from the ladies about that because there must be something about big hunky guy and sharp knife and blood and meat and stuff like that, but anyway, it's a bit beyond me. So yeah, personal relationship is fine, but why is that important in terms of buying meat? Well, the next answer my audience always gives me is, well, the butcher gives you information about what I ask. And they always say to me almost every time about two things. He gives you information about two things: how to prepare the meat and how to cook it. Well, you know what? When was the last time you saw a butcher's ad crammed? Because in step 1 and 2 of why your marketing doesn't work, we talked about the fact that it needs to be crammed with information. So when was the last time you saw a butcher's ad or a butcher's website or a butcher's flyer crammed with information on how to prepare meat and how to cook it? Never. What you see is an ad with sirloin steak, so many grams, price. Now, what's the butcher telling you is the most important factor when buying meat? I ask my audience that and they always say price. And then I say, where do you go to buy meat when price is most important to you? Well, the answer is the supermarket. Duh. So you see what's happening? The secret strength, and we call it the secret strength because you know what it is, the customer knows what it is, the butcher's customer knows what it is, but the butcher, the owner of the business, doesn't know what it is. He thinks his strength is price, and you know that you do not go to the butcher instead of the supermarket instead of price. You know that the poor guy can never be overall cheaper than the butcher. He might be on 1 or 2 specials, but on average he's going to have to be dearer, otherwise the poor bugger's going to go broke, isn't he? But no, the butcher's convinced he has to get you there with price specials. Whereas if he had crammed his ad with information about how to cook and how to prepare the meat, you would find that interesting because that's why you like going to him in the first place. Now, if he couldn't afford an ad, how else could the butcher communicate his secret strength? Well, step 4 in this series, we're going to talk about other ways to communicate your message other than normal advertising. Okay, so that's Mark Holloway signing in. That noise in the background, by the way, is rain on the garage roof. Long overdue, so bloody good man.